Hello, welcome to Whole Health Mama's Kitchen, and today we're going to make raw apple cider vinegar. And as you can see here, we have raw apples. They're organic that I got from my neighbor's tree, and I'm cutting them up into size that'll fit into my food processor. Cut off the bad parts. Of course, you know when they're organic, they're always going to have some worms that are as interested in the apple as you are, because it's organic. And organic is good for all God's living creatures. I just cut the bad spots off. I forgot to mention that all these apples I had put in my sink, and I rinsed off all dust and particles that may have settled on it. But there was no pesticide, so I didn't have to wash any of that off because they are organic, and I picked them myself off my neighbor's tree. Now you can see the inside of this apple has some competition. God's little worms thought the apples tasted pretty good too. Don't mind sharing a few with them. So I just cut it out, and I don't throw away my scraps. I collect them in a bowl like this, and I put them in my compost bin so that they'll turn back to dirt, and then next year I'll put them back in my garden and grow plants with them. Put the apples in, and I'm going to chop them up. Noisy little critter, isn't it? I'm not too anxious to cut out the cores or the seeds or the peeling, because it's all going to go into the fermenting process and it's all good. So I'm going to take the chopped onions or the chopped apples out, and I'm going to repeat this process until all my apples have been chopped. We ended up with a bowl of chopped apples. It's okay that it turns brown. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to fill each one of these jars with the chopped apples till they're about 3/4. Now I have 8 cups of water here, and you have a tablespoon of sugar for each cup of water. So I have 8 tablespoons of sugar in here, 8 cups of water. Then I'm going to pour the water in the jar to about an inch from the top, maybe an inch and a half. Stir it around. Now we put a porous cover on. Some people can use loosely woven cotton cloth or cheesecloth, but I'm using a coffee filter that my husband uses in his coffee maker every morning. Put it over the top because it's porous, and it will as the apples ferment, it will produce a gas, so it has to escape so it doesn't blow up and explode. And then I just put a rubber band over the top of the filter, kind of pull the sides down. What I do is I write today's date. I happen to know when it is 2 weeks from today, so I'm going to put that on there too, so I know how long it's been fermenting. I'm going to stir it a couple of times in the next 2 weeks, and if there is a brownish gray foam that the fermentation process creates, I'm going to scrape that off. Stir my apples and sugar water back together, put the lid back on it, put it back in its cool dark corner that I keep in my pantry closet, and for another 3 weeks I will let it ferment, and then I will take the lid off and smell it. If it has that vinegary smell, taste it. If it tastes the way I like it, if it smells like I think it ought to smell, then I will bottle it in jars that I have been saving, put them in the refrigerator, and I have vinegar for the rest of the winter. Last week, I made apple pie filling with my apples, and what I had left over was the peeling and the stem. And rather than throw that out, I put it in my jars, put my sugar solution in it, and wrote my date and started my fermenting process. So I should have a good supply of raw apple cider vinegar for this winter. So this is Whole Health Mama signing off for raw apple cider vinegar. Hope you enjoy yours as much as we enjoy ours. Bye now.